So today is Wednesday, April 23rd, and this is the 4-hour chart here that we can see on the MES. We can see that it has been heading up on the leg up here, and I predict that it's going to get up to the 461, between 461 and 500 level. We can see that that's where the blue SMA is on the 4-hour chart, and our Fibonacci line that we drew a long time ago is at that level as well. So I think it's still going to go up a little bit, but we can start to see that it's maybe losing momentum. So if we go to the 1-hour chart here, we can see it, the MACD, a little bit on this one. It's starting to taper off and possibly drop. And we're kind of stagnant, kind of leveling off with the candles just as we approach that 461 mark. All right, so basically I think it's going to go up for a little while, but it's going to be leveling and then dropping pretty significantly today. That's my goal. That's my prediction. And we're trading the paper trading account today that has the $3,600 value. And so when we are aiming for 2% a day, which is what I try to do, that means that all we need to make today is about $73. So that's about, 14 ticks. Not ticks, points, excuse me, 14 points. So that's not very much, actually. All right, so we went up to the 456 level there, you can see, and then it started to drop. And so I fully expected to drop down to that blue line very, very soon. However, because I don't want to trade against the trend, I don't want to trade on that, as tempting as it is. So I want to wait for that to go down and start to bounce, and then I'll get into a long. All right, here we go. It's 9:09, and it went down very fast and a lot farther than I thought it would. So I guess I could have traded on it after all. Just kind of surprised me. Anyway, I'm still waiting for it to make a turn and to look like it's going to be heading up. All right, and at this point, 9:09, 3 minutes later, it did that very thing. And I got in at 54.41. And so I'm going to ride it up as far as I can. All right. And so now I put in my exit order at 54.60 because I do think that's probably where it's going to go. That's actually more than what I need, but I think that's a fairly conservative place for it to head up. And we can definitely see it heading that direction now, and we can see that it did drop below the blue SMA on our 1-minute chart, but immediately came back up again. So I'm not too worried at this point. We can also kind of see the MACD there at the bottom of the screen. It looks like it's gaining the upward momentum that we need. So, all right, zoomed out a little bit to the 5-minute chart, and I scrolled down a little bit so you can kind of see the MACD a little bit clearer, and you can also see the RSI is starting to head up. So it's looking good. And it's looking good there. It kind of leveled off for a little while, as you can see, and worried me a little bit, but then it headed up again. Still not close to the opening bell. We're 10 minutes away. All right, and at this point, I decided to lock in some profits. And on the paper trading account, I've been having a little bit of trouble with the bracketed orders. The one cancels the other order, the OCO, that they don't seem to actually cancel. So I thought, well, I will go ahead and just put in another order, and it actually let me do it. On the real trading account, it would not let me do this because I could accidentally get filled and get into 2 short positions if it triggered them both too quickly for me to cancel. So this is kind of a glitch on the paper trading account. But anyway, I put in the stop order here. Still hoping and thinking that it'll probably go up, but just making sure I don't want to lose my profits that I've gained so far. All right, started to nose over, and sure enough, I got out. But what was really weird is it, for some reason, put me into a short position. That is not what I intended to do. So even if it's not an OCO order, it still seems to fill the other one that I had open, I guess. I'm not exactly sure what's happening. That's not the way it's supposed to go. So here I am sitting in a short position. I really don't want to be there. And opening bell came, and I put in, I figured, well, okay, I'll just ride with it. It may drop down to the 445 level. So I put in the order just above that blue SMA, and it came down to within 50 cents of it. Did not take, shot back up again, and is extremely volatile right now. I held on a little bit. I'm looking at the indicators here, and everything's pretty high. So I still think there's a possibility that it could drop down and fill that order that I had accidentally got into. And here we go. Sure enough, it did. And so I got out of that position. Thought I was all right. I looked away from the screen, and then I heard a bleep. And wouldn't you know, that original order filled and got me into another short position that I didn't even see the order on my screen. So here I am in a short position at 461 when it went shooting up, skyrocketing up to 487. I couldn't believe it. So here I am trying to, I thought I was done. I was happy with what I had made. I'd made my goal, and here I find myself in another position. And so anyway, trying to figure out what to do about this situation. I decided that if I got out just a 1 point below where I accidentally got in, the likelihood of that filling would be pretty decent. So I put that in, and thankfully it did drop down to that point, and I got out at break even essentially on that accidental trade. So that was just lucky. And I'm not happy with the paper trading right now, because it's just by the skin of my teeth that I'm making any good trades at all. So anyway, here you can see I've made my $70, which is really close. I'm happy with that. And that's it for today. Thanks for joining me.